Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 38 of the Weebs podcast. Listen, every week we come in and we're like, oh my god, wow, what another amazing week of anime. We are eating good. This is the best it's ever been. As much as that's true, and it's true every week, I always feel bad because we're just saying the same thing over and over and over. But what else are you going to say? You know what I mean? What else are you going to say? This
True.
week, we finally got something different. Welcome back, guys. What an emotional week of anime this week. Just absolutely emotional. DanDaDan. Where did that come from? Like,
All right.
DanDaDan reminded us that hey, we can do everything, baby. We got the nice action, the cool characters, the pretty sick story, the lightheartedness where it's just really really funny and comedic. But we can get deep as well. We can bring you to tears. Have fun. Blue Lock. Jesus, is that heating up and getting emotional? Blue Miburo. We got to get into that. Miss Servant even. Yuki's got a sister. Yuki's got a sister. What is like?
Right?
I'm telling you, like this is insane. Blue Box, and then the man of the hour per se. We're not gonna get into it, but Arcane. I can tell you right now, we're getting a whole video dedicated to Arcane of season 2. It is the greatest thing I have ever seen. I have forced people. I'm not gonna lie. I bullied people to watch this anime. And I'm gonna be bullying you too. Anime, animated show, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. It's phenomenal. That's the important part. It doesn't matter what it is. It's phenomenal. I've literally bullied people seriously again, like you gotta watch, you gotta watch, you gotta watch it. Fine, just you shut the fuck up. They're freaking out right now. Everyone's just like, dude, you know what? This actually is amazing. I mean, especially with season two. Season two has completely, somehow like completely conquered season one. And these past 3 episodes, because they're doing it in 3 parts, 3 episodes one week, then another, then another. So we got the 3 episodes of part two last week, and they were seriously, I'm still fucked up. I changed my wallpapers. I'm still repeat on, I got it on repeat. The scenes in my head. I don't know what to do. I'm a mess right now. I don't know. But listen, the finale is coming out this weekend. It's gonna be awesome. So next week we are gonna have a video breaking down season two and how it's one of the greatest things to ever, bless us. And to be fair, we're gonna be talking about it in that video. But you just made a great point. Cyberpunk got Anime of the Year award a couple years back. What's the difference between that and Arcane? I guess we're gonna find out. We'll see if Crunchyroll nominates Arcane, for an Anime of the Year possibility. That'd be kind of cool. And then that really gets interesting. Of is it an anime? Is it not an anime? Either way. But listen, you guys don't have to do this. I'm definitely doing this with how great Blue Box is getting, Blue Lock is getting. Oh my god, it's not heating up. Dan Arcane season finale. I'm going out this week. Got a local, dairy farm. Makes the greatest ice cream. Everyone says, what's your favorite ice cream? It's cotton candy from that place. It transcends taste. It's the greatest thing. I'm saving
All
all of
right.
my anime for one day this week and have a little meat day. Get cozy with the blankets, the good, nice comfort snack, and just binge everything because we don't talk about it, but ReZero is on another level as well. I mean, anime is hitting in such a way that it's never hit before. Like, I'm out cold on the ground. I'm drooling. I'm fucking dead. I don't know what to tell you. Like, my jaw is gone, brother. Like, so, enjoy yourself, okay? Don't forget to take time for you to enjoy some anime, get comfy, and hang out with the boys, right? That's what life is truly about, anime.
Dude, the amount of emotion though, like these last couple
It
weeks,
is,
you're definitely
bro.
right. Like it's hitting different.
It is. It's taking you places that you like. We talk about the season about how good it is and how like the action is great, the story is amazing, the characters are just so fucking good. I mean, I'm being obsessed with. I'm emotionally attached with so many of these characters. It's insane. But like the way that they just keep taking us on this roller coaster. Like I mean, Blue Lock, Blue Box, DanDaDan, Ranma, something we're gonna be talking about too. I mean, Yakuza Fiance. Oh my god, I just watched that episode, dude. Like that is getting like intense too. Like that's the best word, intense. These animes are getting very intense. They're all over the place emotionally, and they just got the hooks in us. And I mean, the way that they're just delivering, and they have so much depth to them, and they just hit on so many different angles. It's insane. So yeah, grab your favorite snack, enjoy a nice anime day this weekend. I mean, dude, it's insane. What do you want to start with? I have no idea.
I would say
Blue,
DanDaDan just because that
okay,
was
okay.
DanDaDan was a heavy hitter, and I was like not
Yep.
expecting that at all. I felt like we would just kind of get the conclusion of the fight, and kind of whatever happens. But they gave Acro Silky a diabolical backstory, a total tearjerker.
Bro, see, I was on a roller coaster of emotions because when they started it, first of all, it's really kind of like vague. You know, it's some woman from first person point of view running through the streets. You know, kind of like where's my daughter? Where's my that kind of stuff? And like, okay, like what's going on here? And then it kind of gets into the backstory. I'm like, is that Silky Ak? Like, excuse me, like that? Like, hello. And then you start
Yeah,
getting into their
right.
story, and you start thinking like, yo, this is wholesome as fuck. Like, this is really adorable. And then you start to realize like, oh, wait, this isn't gonna end well. And then you have this scene where she's fighting and trying to protect her daughter, and dude, that just hit. It was like, yo, like the panic in the mom's voice is just absolutely insane. You see the desperation of her running after her child, even though her arms are completely sliced up. You know, she's beaten and bloodied, dying pretty much, and she just keeps going. Like, dude, that I wasn't expecting. That hit so fucking hard. I mean, Momo sums it up when you see Momo just like crying when Ken was like about to attack with Acro Silky.
I guess it's Acrobatic Silky. Kind
Yeah.
of a fire name. I like that. Yeah, but like I was just like not expecting that because like the buildup is really long, right? Like you get to see all these like wholesome scenes and kind of all the stuff that she does, for work to like make ends meet and get a little money just to like buy her that dress and like all this, sweet stuff like the,
Hmm.
whatever you got to do to be a good parent type thing. And then to see them like kick the door in and steal the daughter and yeah, like they beat the shit out of her. Like I was not expecting that. Like I didn't really know where it was going, but like you're
Hmm.
getting kind of like getting close with these two people, and then you see that happen, and it's like, damn, like it really makes you empathize with her and feel bad for her, just like how bad she had it, and I don't know, kind of makes you understand the situation, and then she like goes out of her way when she's dying as this spirit or ghost or whatever it is to like save Ira. It was like, damn, that was like really emotional. It was really heavy hitting, and I felt like episodes 5 and 6 were really good, and
Hmm.
we're kind of like heating up and stuff, but this just like took the roof off. It was definitely my favorite episode this week. It was very, very hard to like get through. I watched it again, and like it was just not any easier the second time. I'm like, damn, this is tough. Really good though.
Dude, it was absolutely amazing. Of course, you saw the comedy of it with Ken not being able to fight. You know, when they first try to fight her, Ken's like, "Yeah, I don't know how to fight." And she's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I kind of just been running the whole time." And we made that joke too, where he's kind of just been Sonic the Hedgehogging it the entire anime so far. And now we're kind of coming to that realization. You know, maybe we're gonna see a little Ken, training arc. Maybe we get our boy fighting soon, in fighting shape at least. But yeah, I mean, there was still like some comedic aspects of it, some action in it. I mean, Ken just blasted her, and then she comes back. We get the backstory, and she saves Ira, which is just so amazing. So Ira is like saved, but like what's gonna be going on? I guess she's gonna be sticking with them, but she kind of knows about like the supernatural now, and we're gonna move on from there. I mean, like I don't know how they're gonna go direction wise, but I haven't since the beginning, and each episode
Yeah,
they just deliver. You know what I mean? Each episode they're like, yeah, we got you. Don't just sit back, relax, don't think too hard, all right, and enjoy.
yeah. You're 100% right. It's been very unpredictable in a really good way.
Hmm.
Like, you might have an idea or a guess at like where this is going, but yeah, I would assume now that she has like combined her aura, Acro, Silky, and Ira, that she'll be able to see the supernatural stuff, and yeah, she'll just kind of end up tagging along. And I think it's easy to make that inference because she's like one of the cover characters, but
Yeah.
obviously this whole situation I think is going to bring them together and kind of give Ira like a better appreciation for like life and her friends, and contrast that to like whatever that was, episode 5 or 6, when she's just like, yeah, I'll say hi to these losers, like that'll make their day, like somebody
Yeah.
like me talking to them. So kind of like a quick little character arc for her to kind of like mature her a little bit. But I don't really know where they're going to go from here. I'm kind of with you. Like, I feel like there needs to be some training with Ken, or we'll get something just because, like, he is kind of like out of his league at certain times
Yeah.
if the situation's not right. So it'll be cool to see kind of like what they come up with, or like what training and what powers they kind of run into.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the next phase of DanDaDan will be finding the dude, the guy who's on the cover. We're still missing one person, so I think that would be awesome. I can't wait to see how he gets involved. Maybe he has the other testicle. I don't know, but it's going to be definitely really interesting. I mean, their intros to characters in this anime have been insane. We've talked about that, how they're just so unexpected, and the characters themselves are completely out of left field. Like we have no idea what we're getting. This anime is just sit back again, relax, don't worry, and enjoy, because it's so hard to predict. It's so hard to see what's coming. It's so hard to like figure it out, which what makes it so amazing, because it can do everything. You know what I mean? Like I said, it has the action, it's got the story, it's got the characters. They always deliver on the characters. It's got the the depth to it now, where it's like, yo, like it'll make you cry if you disrespect it. Like, be careful.
Right?
So I'm excited to see the rest of the season. Again, that was one of the animes that are getting like what 24 episodes, so it's not even close to being over. The season's not halfway over; it's like a quarter over. So we have a lot to go through, and I'm so excited for it.
It still feels like there's a lot of stuff we don't know, or like there's a lot of different directions they can go and
Hmm.
like stuff to get into. Like you said, we have a whole other character to meet and kind of go through that yet. Um, so it does feel like there's still a lot. It's kind of like still feels really new, but yeah, I'm loving it. DanDaDan is outstanding. And episode 7 just kind of like perfectly sums it up.
Yeah, and I feel like so much has happened too. There's so much that we haven't gotten to, and so much we don't know. But at the same time, I feel like we've been like, yeah, it feels like we're like almost at the end of the season. Like, it's crazy how much that they've done, and dude, I'm loving it. Definitely, definitely a great one. Speaking of, if Arcane's gonna get a nomination for Anime of the Year, it's like, dude, how do you make that like Final Four? Like, how for Anime of the Year this year? Like, that's dude, that's like the hardest thing you got to do. Like, whoever's in charge of
Wonder,
that.
yeah, and I wonder what criteria they use. Obviously, like popularity, and I'm sure sales and views and all that stuff goes into it, but
Hmm.
I would not want that job. I mean, I feel like we've watched pretty much all the major ones this year, but that would be, yeah, really tough to pick 4 standout animes because, I mean, from everything I've seen, I can think of 3 like right off the top of my head. And I try not to like get into
Yeah.
like the recency bias and like, yeah, down that on because you're watching it right now or
Hmm.
whatever, but it definitely feels like it should be up there. And Arcane definitely. I
But
mean,
that's what I'm saying too. I mean, Kaiju 8. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
and
that
Kaiju 8
one's.
was super popular. Like I
Hmm.
feel like that was kind of like a huge hit. So right there, those are like 3 easy picks.
And then you also have was JJK at the beginning of this year?
I was literally thinking that today. I'm like,
No,
was
that
that
was
at
at
the
the end of last
beginning of the
year.
year?
That was at the end of last year. Because then
Like
that competed with Attack on Titan and stuff.
fall, winter last year, right?
But still, Demon Slayer, Classroom of the Elite, like we had a lot of big names and a lot of like crazy premieres. I don't think Solo Leveling was gonna get one, but that could get nominated just because the massive hype around it. But dude, and if we go back and look at what animes there's been, we're easily going to pick a bunch. I think making a top 8 is going to be difficult, to be honest. If we were to go back and look like, oh,
Yeah.
what happened this year, and you're like, oh my god, I forgot about that. That was insane. There were so many that just hit hard, where it's just like, yo, I don't want to be the one responsible for that.
Yeah, right. And you're right. Classroom of the Elite really hit hard this season. I feel like that
Hmm.
was a really good, whatever that was, season 3. But yeah, very tough to come up with that list.
Oh my god, ReZero, guys, that's coming out right now. I mean, Bleach, that's gonna make us like, like how do you do that?
Oh my
We're
God.
talking about just the top 4 for this season. It's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
It just goes to show you, like, it reiterates our point that anime's been so good all year. Like, it hasn't been 1 or 2 seasons. Like, from
Mhm.
start to finish, I feel like we've just been, yeah, so lucky to get so much quality.
Dude, I'm excited because at the end of the year, guys, we are gonna be dropping a ton of content on like the anime awards of like kind of our picks, what would we go for, the voting of it. I feel like that's gonna be a ton of fun. Recapping this entire year. We gotta figure out when the awards come out that we can do a recap of this entire year, before that. So if you guys need a little refresher, we got you. Don't worry. So that would be so insane. I can do the content at the end of the year is gonna be a lot of fun, especially anime wise. I'm super excited. Even though then awards don't get announced until what? Like next year, like I
I'm not
think
sure.
February or March, and it's like, brother, like you can't leave me on the edge of my seat for that long.
I guess to wait to the end of the winter season, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That makes
annoying,
sense.
but like that's how it is. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. We got to get into Blue Lock. That was. I mean, let's talk about before we get into the excitement. Let's talk about the sad part where Sai just destroyed them. He just utterly just caved them in. Like, I mean, I don't even know what to say other than he completely destroyed. He literally said, he's like, hey guys, you guys know I could have scored like 5 times there, but I decided to pass it to you
Yeah.
pathetic mutts, and you fucked it up every single time. You're like, this dude who's not even a goalie blocked that, and then he takes a zero angle shot. And it's just like, yeah, I scored that. By the way, Rin tried it, Rin, and missed it. So just saying, first of all, better goalie, so that's the thing. But that also could symbolize that, oh, he's on a higher level than Ren. So that's something, or Reen. I never know how to pronounce that, but Yeah, that was insane.
Dude, crazy. He scores some like world class shot, and as soon as they all come over to celebrate, he's like, "Yeah, don't touch me, loser." I
Yeah.
was dying, dude. Just so like blunt with him.
And then
But
Blue
yeah, he makes
Lock
the
realizes it's an away game. That's when they realize the crowd is
and
not
like
on their side.
it really sets in, and like you can kind of see it on Isagi's face when like everybody's cheering. You know, like this hype,
Mm-hmm.
generational genius like Sai scores some world class goal. Like they go up 1-0, and like everybody's against them, and it kind of sets in for Blue Lock. Like they're the visitors. They're not who everybody's rooting for. But it's cool through the course of the episode to see how it changes. And obviously, yeah, at the end, like they're cheering for Blue Lock. I was like, all right, this is really sick. But Rin also does a good job of telling Isagi like, don't get overwhelmed, don't worry,
Mm-hmm.
like I got this. I'm gonna make sure I do a good job. And they all like kind of lock in after that, which was really sick because it's definitely the best Blue Lock has played kind of like not just individually, but like as any unit. I feel like we've seen this is like the most like together they've played.
Bro, like I was saying like last podcast episode, Rin and Isaki, like the way that he like just encourages him and kind of just like he's like, hey, I'll be that foundation. Like, hey, like this pressure is kind of getting to you at certain times. Like, I got you. Don't let it. You know, keep your eyes on me, dude. I love that shit. I love how he's actually like respecting him and kind of looking at him like a teammate. You know, and it's kind of like I can't do this alone. I need you guys with me. Let's do this together. It is like one of the coolest and greatest feelings watching him be friendly or I guess just be kind of social has been so cool because he has been not like necessarily mean or standoffish or cold, but like distant. You know what I mean? Ever
Yeah,
since we met him. So seeing the side of him is really cool. He goes in for the same exact shot with fucking egotistical shit. I mean, bro, so egotistical. Ends up not getting it, but then just seeing the attack of Blue Lock, it's like, yeah, it's a team full of strikers, bud. Like, so many great shots and opportunities. You can see that they're like perfectly matched with like their counterparts. And then Nagi, I mean, talk about what such a better intro. If you didn't watch the movie, it ends with Nagi at the like in the middle of the field, like hi Japan, my name's Nagi, and it's like very just kind of
yeah.
like, oh, like that's pretty cool. This introduction was way better. It was the same thing that he said in the show, except he was just standing on the field saying it, you know. But him, you know, scoring this disgusting goal, getting pure silence, getting pure silence, you know what I mean, before they lose their fucking mind, was amazing. Like, dude, his goal was
So good.
gross. It was
It
amazing.
was and it was cool how it was like a follow-up attack too. It wasn't like just
Mm-hmm.
some random laser. You know what I mean? It was like a lot of teamwork. And
Mm-hmm.
it was tough to get him the ball, and like you think he's either gonna pass or like you don't really know what he's gonna do. And to pull that off, like the way he like pops it back on his other foot and then
Yeah.
just rips it was really sick. And it was really cool too because like right before that they were kind of highlighting how good U20's defense is. You kind of get
Mm-hmm.
like a couple scenes with all four of the defensemen for U20, which I thought was really sick. And it just kind of added to the hype of Nagi's goal. And then everybody being silent and then just popping off because that was crazy. Really, really sick.
But if you like sports, you understand it too, because it's from an aspect of appreciating the sport and not necessarily the team. And seeing a
Yeah.
disgusting, filthy fucking goal, you know, with great defense and just appreciating it, like, yo, that was incredible. Like, did you see this? I can't believe that just happened. We just watched it. That was real. Like, that's insane. Like, seeing that from like the fans was so cool. You know what I mean? Because it's like more true. You know what I mean? Rin, you know, kind of got that confused where he's like, I'm gonna have them wailing, you know, I'm gonna have them upset with how good. It's like, no, dude, they're gonna love every fucking goal you score. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're here for the soccer, baby. You know, U20 is just the team that brought them here, and it wasn't even U20; it was more high. You know, so like that's gonna be insane. I feel like the fans are gonna be the real winners here because they're gonna be seeing the greatest soccer ever. But yeah, U20 now knows that Blue Lock's full of disgusting mutants that like aren't human. Like, what the fuck was Nagi's goal?
That was crazy. And like they're starting to respect them. They know like Blue Lock's not a bunch of pushovers and like
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be a tough match, which I thought was really cool. You get that shot of like Oliver and like the other defenders at the end after they give up the goal, like kind of like locking in. They know that this is not gonna be an easy match, which like for me just like keeps building the hype. Like it was a sick episode, but really does a good job of like setting up the next couple episodes for how good this game is gonna be.
Yeah, and it gives a chance for Blue Lock to really show like how good they are as goal scorers. But even said he's like I'm a midfielder. He's like prove that you're actually a goal scorer. You should score goals better than me. And it's funny because I don't think the U20 team's gonna be able to do that. But Blue Lock, on the other hand, Blue Lock's gonna do that. And I can't wait to see how many of them can actually like really show off and do their thing. Because you gotta imagine there is subs, so they're not going to just have them there for no reason. I have a feeling someone might get hurt. We're going to have someone subbed out. Who's going to be able to really shine and kind of like show, their worth per se. But I did hear that the game is the rest of the season, the anime
Oh
season.
wow.
So we have episodes of this game left. I don't know if it's going to be a close game. If it is, I mean, they'll make it entertaining still, but I mean, like, I wonder how many guys are going to be able to score, how many guys are actually going to be able to like show their potential and their success as a striker and how good they really are. Because yeah, we have a lot of episodes of this game left, but like you got to imagine, there's only going to be so many goals.
Yeah, it's not going to be like 10-9 or whatever.
Actually,
Like,
it could be. I mean, like,
yeah, that is true. We don't know. And like it just goes to show you the weight of this game too with like that many episodes
mhm.
invested into it cuz this is already like we had one full and kind of like a half episode diving into this game. So like yeah, there's going to be a lot more to see. Like you said, a lot of really interesting moments, and like it'll be cool to see who steps up and who maybe comes off the bench and scores for Blue Lock or even like the U20 extra players because we're still just kind of like getting introduced to them. Like we just met, um, like their goaltender and their defenders and stuff outside of like Oliver and Sai.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool, kind of like really getting everybody head to head and seeing yeah who steps up and who scores the sick goals because Nagi and Sai are already off to the races. That was two really sick goals.
Yeah, like I'm worried because I heard a rumor of like what the score is gonna be, but I don't think it's the case, and I don't want to say it just in case it is. But I heard I saw a spoiler where it just seemed like it was gonna be like not a lot. So I was like, oh, it's not gonna be that many episodes. But then we're like, no, it's to the end of the season apparently. Like I really wonder how this game's gonna be. I'm in complete shock. I'm in awe. I don't know what's gonna be going on. You know what I mean? It's hard to believe that it would be low scoring. Especially because when you look at it, like Blue Lock, it was always the five. That's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be 10-9. You know what I mean? Like we could see that, especially because our boy in goal. I forget his name. I don't have it written down. My bad. But how good is he going to be? You know what I mean? Because like he's a freak, bro. He can make some sick saves. Like he can get there. But like you're human. There's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? Like Blue Lock definitely has that weakness of they're not going to have the best defense or the best goaltending. You know what I mean? So if they score a bunch of goals on them, that makes sense. But at the same time, they're mutants who could score like there's no tomorrow. They eat goals. It's how they lived. It was literally their currency. I don't know if you remember, but when they scored goals, they got points. Those points were used to buy better food, better living conditions. Like goals were literally what they traded with. So they know how to score them. So I could definitely see this, yeah, being a very high scoring game, which I think I think that'd be sick.
It'll definitely be sick, but I don't think they'll go like as crazy as 10-9 because you want there
Oh
to be
yeah,
like
no.
still value in some of the goals that people
Hmm.
score. I have no idea really what to predict for the score, but like you said, it usually goes to five. So I think you'd have at least a handful to show off, some cool goals and make it competitive. But
Should
yeah,
we
it's
have a
kind of hard
little
to tell.
should we have a little fun with this? None of us have read the manga. Other than right? I'll write this down. Isagi and Rin. Who do you think is going to score for Blue Lock? Name one person other than Isagi and Rin, because I feel like they're each probably going to
Hmm.
get one.
Yeah, I feel like Isagi will just because he's the MC and
Yeah, he's probably
he's
the
got to like,
last one. You know what I mean? And then oh my god, he's the golden boy. Yeah, it's the main
yeah.
character plot armor syndrome. Yeah,
I feel like somebody off the bench, but I also feel like the first name that came to my mind was Bachira. He's
dude,
like
that's what
played
I
pretty
want to
good,
score so bad too. Yeah.
but like I could also see it being somebody like Rio. Like Nagi scored, like having him kind of like make an impact or have like two assists or something. It's kind of hard to tell like who's gonna step up besides Rin and Isagi. But Bachira would be my pick because like I didn't really get anything from Chigiri either. Kind of seems like he's focused on defense.
Yeah, so I don't think he's gonna score. I really want to see Bachira too, just because that's my boy. I fucking love him. I want him to eat.
Yeah.
If I can pick who I want to score, yeah, Bachira, 100%. But since you picked him, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go different route, and you're gonna say Bachira, right? And I really hope that's the case because Bachira is the man. I'm gonna say so we have different things. The 1v1 guy. I feel like he is going to be able to have some sick 1v1 dangling maneuvering. And if you remember, he had that sick shot. It wasn't even he just got past him. He's just the best 1v1er in the world. I mean, he smoked that. And like that was what Rio copied, but he was the one that had that brilliant like arch, you know what I mean? Where I was like, "Oh shit." You know, so
Nasty.
I could see him scoring one. Yeah, the guy with the glasses, I don't know, man. I'm gonna say the guy with the glasses. But like who else could who else could it be? You know, it's either gonna be everyone or it's gonna be I can see Nagi getting a second, to be honest. I mean, that kid's gross.
Yeah, he's definitely got
It's
like the talent.
filthy.
I want to say I feel like Shido is going to score a goal just because that's what his game is. He's not like a big passer or anything like that.
Who's that?
And I feel like the antenna guy that left Blue Lock for U20 that Psy recruited.
Oh yeah, but it's even in the game. How's that gonna work? I feel like this episode they kind of set up that he was gonna be put in because I mean
That,
he was
yeah, like I just
roasting that striker.
and we just like we talked about it last week. Like if for him to not like check into this game or like we'll just say the next 4 or 5 episodes or however long it is,
Hmm.
to like not get any Shido, I think would be like a character assassination. So I'm just kind of like going for the reason that he's kind of like a main player. I feel like he'll definitely come in for U20 and make an impact. And I say he'll score a goal just because that's like literally all he can do. He's like a very physical, right in front of the net goal scoring guy.
Do we think? You know what? Yeah. Yeah, he has to, and like they kind of set it up. Like I said, that striker is getting absolutely roasted. You suck. You can't even score more than the midfielder. Like you're not a striker then. You know what I mean? If you can't score more than me, type thing. So I feel like that's setting it up to have him in. I think maybe before he comes in, Blue Lock starts to get a lead. Because why else would you bring him in? Why else? Because like it's a politic
Yeah,
thing too, where it's like, hey, we don't want him to come in and score goals, because that makes Blue Lock look good too. You know, but if it gets to the point where it's like, oh shit, you know, Blue Lock might actually win. Okay, use anything. If they lose, then they don't exist anymore. Just make sure they don't lose. I feel like we're gonna get to that point before he comes in, which again might help the aspect or the evidence behind the higher scoring game.
very good point. You're definitely right though, because it makes Blue Lock look good. The better, more, the better he plays, the more impact he has. Win or lose, it's going to reflect well on Blue Lock and not U20 if he's like making the impact. But I feel like he's just too good of a player. I mean, he was the number 2 behind Rin, so like he knows Blue Lock, and yeah, like you said, it's kind of a political move. But at the same time, like if they get desperate or they feel like they're running out of time, I think you're right. They'll do whatever they have to like keep it close or try and win.
Now that I'm thinking about it, and this is complete overthinking, is there a chance that Blue Lock loses? I mean, we saw
I don't
Nagi's
know.
goal, and if we have a lot of sick goals like that, and people are like, "Oh yeah, Blue Lock's over," they lost to U20. Do you think people would sit by and be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool"? Or do you think people are like, excuse me, that team fucking destroyed. Like they had some of these sickest goals. Those kids are super. Like keep Blue Lock. Like they know what's up. You know what I mean? Could they prove themselves? You know, in this game, even though they wouldn't get the dub and still be able to stay. Like, is it just me overthinking? Yeah, because we said that there's no way that they lose. They can't. It's part of the. You know, then Blue Lock doesn't exist, and we don't have the show. You know, the anime. Like, is there that chance?
I could see them losing, maybe like 5-4 or 6-5, like a high scoring close
Mm-hmm.
match where like U20 pulls it out in the end or like Psy pulls it out for U20, not necessarily like one of the normal U20 guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like yeah, U20 won, but they were also expected to like kind of dominate. And Blue Lock goes in there, has a great showing. People would like take notice of somebody like Rin and Nagi who scored really awesome goals. So I could definitely see it as a possibility that they lose, but like it wouldn't be decisive. It would be like really close and like a last minute thing. And I would guess like Psy would be the one to defeat them and kind of like keep fueling that rivalry with his brother.
Let's keep the gambling going.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Do you think Ren scores? I mean, because we keep thinking that, oh yeah, like it's got to happen. It's him versus brother. But Ren's not Blue Lock. He's not the main character here. And he just went for the egotistical shot and he missed. Is there a chance that he doesn't score this match? If it's low scoring, I can see him not scoring. You know what I mean? Is there a chance
Yeah,
that he
it's
kind
tough.
of gets shut down here and Izagi shines? You know, main character?
I don't think he'll play the best. Like I don't think Rin will be the star in this game, but I would guess he scores. Like I would bet on him scoring a goal. Just because of like it's him and his brother and he like doubled down on it this episode. So I'm gonna say yes.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be oppositional. I'm going to say
All
Rin
right.
shut out. Shut out against U20. I feel like he
It's a
puts on a
very
shine, but he's not able to deliver.
It's a very real possibility. Like the last two episodes, they've really highlighted U20's defense, and obviously Oliver Aiku's like their captain, their star player, and he's a defenseman. So like I could see them getting into a battle and like Oliver kind of locking him down.
Well,
Definitely.
Oliver targeted Isagi. That's the thing. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
targeted him.
he's
He said he's
Mr.
like,
Burglar.
yeah, he's like you're the one targeting, which is interesting. Why not again Rin? And to be honest, Rin could be the one that gets hurt because Ego said he's like Isagi's the perfect one to pair with him. So he has the best compatibility, but has the potential to surpass him and score on his own. So if Rin were to coincidentally get hurt, go down, maybe an altercation with his brother, and he goes out, who becomes the spotlight? And if we're thinking about an anime, a show, the story, what better situation for the MC to shine to then be thrown into that? At the end of the game, it's all on the line. Lead this team to victory. But it's all been about Rin up until this point. He's been the number one guy. Build around him. He's the main focus. But now it's on you. I feel like that could be sick. And I think that that would be awesome. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of like geeking out about it. I don't know, fanboying over it of like what it could possibly be. You know, like the ooh, like the twists.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that that could be. You know, I think he probably scores too. But like for the fun of it, for the fun of the gamble, you know what I mean. I'm gonna go with no, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with this. You know, delusional plot line that Rin gets hurt, Isiki becomes the hero.
Definitely not delusional though. Like I could see that happening. I feel like there's been enough twist in turns of blocks to keep it unexpected. Like
hmm
it's been pretty straightforward this season, but something's got to make this game like dramatic and interesting. And I think injury's a very real possibility.
and the focus hasn't been on Rin at all. It's all been on Isagi. It's all been on what he's doing, his moves. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Rin's kind of been like, even though he's the center focus, he's kind of been in the background. It's been Isagi kind of bringing it up, him kind of thinking, okay, what are we gonna do? No one's kind of passing it to Rin. You know, they're kind of coming up with that triangle formation to come up, and then they adapted and they're going to short passes. But like it's been kind of crazy. It definitely is set up where he could, you know, just go missing. He can get injured, you know, get subbed out, something like that, and it wouldn't make a huge impact. So, well, it would for the Isagi, but you know what I mean? I feel like that could be crazy. And let's talk about Ego for a second on the silence, talking about, you know, training, because like he makes a great point. It's like when you train, when you practice, it's all when there's no stress. But when you're in a game and stress is added, it kind of goes out the window. You know what I mean? But again, his faith in his boys, where he's like, these guys know how to, you know, how to play when it comes to showtime. These guys understand the spotlight. Let's let them improvise. You know what I mean? He just had faith in them, and he saw Rin's kind of improvisation, improv. I
Yeah.
don't. We're gonna go with that. We saw the way that Rin was able to, you know, improvise. There we go. And you know,
Yeah.
just able to find success. It was insane. You know what I mean? So I think that was awesome for Ego to kind of do that, and the way it paid off. I mean, like he knows. He's like, I know these guys. These guys are me. He's like, I got faith. That was sick.
It is cool too, because like after everything they've been through and like all the intense training and like
hmm
high stakes matches they've been through, they should be super prepared for a moment like this. And like, you know, they all share that common dream of being the best striker and making, you know, making a name for themselves and like continuing their career. So what better way to do it than score a goal and like beat U20 as
hmm
underdogs? So like I definitely think it was cool of Ego to like trust in his guys, and he was also rewarded. Like you said, he knows them and he knows what they're capable of, and they adapted super well to that situation because so far this season, that's what they've been doing a lot of adapting to like who they're playing with and who they're playing against, and try and find ways to score goals. So like I think there's a lot of like kind of covert advantages in the way Blue Lock's trained, and I hope that's like being portrayed the rest of the season
Yeah.
compared to U20. But like Ego's process and the things he's put these guys through is working. You know what I mean? It is going to lend, you know, an advantage to victory should they come out on top,
Yeah.
or at
I
least even keep it close.
Oh, exactly. Like it's gonna be so cool to watch the rest of the season, especially because there's so many episodes left. It's like there's gonna be so much ahead of us that we have no idea about. So I'm stoked. I think it's gonna be absolutely amazing, and I don't know what to expect. I have no. They could do anything, and it could work. So I'm super excited. It's gonna be absolutely amazing, but it's getting intense. That is for sure. And also, it's getting intense. Blue Box. That this week was awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to see like kind of the focus on the sports too. Like
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of like Taiki playing badminton and some of that stuff, and obviously we got some We got the nice jump shot from Chinatsu. I'm hoping we get more like basketball action, but it
Yeah.
was nice to see that kind of ramping up and like focusing on her athletics and kind of focusing on Chinatsu and basketball more than just like Taiki and his doubles and singles matches.
Yeah,
We also got
seeing.
like a little bit of like time with them, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There was like some good moments, I think, especially at the end.
Oh, there were so many. So first of all, seeing kind of like Chinatsu's side of things, like Taiki's is easy. You're the underdog, you have the star player taking you under his wing, training you. We kind of get that. But Chinatsu, she's in magazines. She's super like popular, super like famous, getting interviewed and shit. You kind of see the drawback to that, how some people get envious, they get spiteful, they get jealous, they get nasty about it, and they're sitting there, shit talking her. Kind of seeing that aspect of it, was crazy. The way that they also weren't satisfied with their win. You know what I mean? Like that, it just brings a whole nother side to like his side with Batman was so like light and fluffy and like yes, you know what I mean? It was like the typical sports where it's like friendship, let's go. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
her basketball side of it was like, oh yo, this is gonna be cutthroat. This is gonna be nice. We already had players shit talking, kind of getting nasty about things. You have the team kind of like already upset. They're kind of already like, all right, we have revenge in the finals. We're gonna be facing the team that beat us last year. How do we come back and beat them? So it's gonna be the nastier side of it, which I think is gonna be really, really cool. And I feel like Chinatsu, the way that she handled it was insane.
Yeah, she did a really good job, which kind of like reflects her character. She's like a
Mm-hmm.
really good person. But also I felt like this episode kind of like you said, it kind of exemplified like Taiki's situation versus Chinatsu's. And her teammates kind of say it like there's a lot of pressure on them to make nationals and not just make it, but win.
Mm-hmm.
For the seniors, we want to do it for the seniors. This is their last shot, at doing this, and then you graduate. So it's a little bit different where Taiki has more time. He's only a first year, and like I don't know that he feels the pressure, and he's had a lot of success so far. I think like the year's been good to him, and he's certainly put the work in. But like I just feel like they're in different positions where Taiki's like on the up and up and he's putting the work in, but Shinatsu's doing it to kind of like you said, keep that reputation as like a
it's
star.
it's also the different factors of pressure. Like Taiki's the one putting the pressure on himself because Chinatsu's leaving. I need to become a national champion before she leaves, but no one else expects anything of him. Meanwhile, for them, everyone expects shit of them. You know what I mean? They're in magazines. They're hyped up. They're looked at as the best. They have seniors that don't get that other chance. You know what I mean? They're leaving. They're gone. This is their last opportunity. Not just because they think it is, but because it is. You know what I mean? So like it's two different sides of how pressure is applied, and you kind of see how that reflects in both the situations.
And we got some of that with Hina last week too. Like her
Mm-hmm.
dad's a famous gymnast, and he's got like major pull in that realm or whatever. So like she has pressure to succeed and do well. So like yeah, everybody's kind of in a different situation, and there's like different types of pressure on each of them, Hina, Taiki, and Chinatsu. But it feels like it's like heating up, not just like the sports stuff, but also their relationship. Because like you get that scene at the end with
Fried
the
chicken.
fried chicken.
Yeah.
I also thought you know how they do this in like tons of animes. You have like Family Mart or 7-Eleven, and they like change the logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally look just like the 7-Eleven logo. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I thought that was super funny. But yeah, that scene where she like takes the fried chicken, and like they're good friends, so I feel like it shouldn't be that awkward. But I guess if they haven't really like put it out there that they don't feel that way, because Hina kind of does. Um, but yeah, it showed Chinatsu like maybe not jealous, but like
Do we
I get.
watch the same anime? Let's take this back a couple steps. Did we not watch the same anime?
I feel like she's kind of jealous, but like
She
not
admits
like,
it to him. She
but
said
not
it
like
out loud.
super.
No, she said it
Yeah,
out loud to him, bro. So Hina comes up doing Hina shit, where she's like, "Hey, like, give me some chicken, bitch." You know what I mean?
yeah, like friends. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and he gives her some chicken, and then Janizu gets upset about that, where she's like, I said last episode I'm gonna take a step back because they're kind of into each other. And she's like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Like, I take
Yeah, true
all that
that.
shit back. She goes up and then asks for some, and then it literally tells him, she's like, I guess I was just kind of jealous, and then just walks off. And I'm like, bro, you went from one episode of them both like, hey, the other girl's into him, let's just step back, and then both girls were away from him, to now both girls being like, actually,
Didn't really mean that. Yeah.
I was joking. I
And
retract
like
that statement.
like Taiki kind of mentions this on his walk home with his friend.
Hmm.
Um, he's like, like it's kind of funny. He's like, oh, I want to ask her out and like, go to the beach and go here and do this. And then like the random marriage scene, like, all right, Taiki, take it easy, bro. But like, he's like, I don't want to put that pressure on her ahead of nationals. And like, most importantly, like, I don't want to make it awkward, her living situation. Like, regardless of what I want, like, he doesn't want to make it feel like awkward at home for her, which is like kind of a good point.
No, I think it's
And
stupid.
then like,
I feel it's stupid. I feel like whenever I watch these as like high school romances, like be selfish. Like seriously, like be selfish. Because I feel like whenever they're not, it's always the dumbest fucking thing in the world. But here's the thing, right? So his friend brings up like, hey, like you gonna ask her out if you like go to nationals? Like if you do the thing you said, are you gonna do it? And he's like, it's like actually I didn't even think of that. You know what I mean? He didn't put two and two together. He didn't even like come to that idea. And then that's when he brings up like, oh, I don't think I can because it'll make the living a situation weird, stuff like that. If you don't do it though, well then she's gonna be sitting there like, I guess I'm gonna leave. I guess I'm gonna go overseas with my parents because it's not like he wants me here. You know what I mean? She's gonna be kind of sitting there like, let's be honest, she's gonna be sitting there in love with him, waiting for him to say something. But if he's not going to, she's gone. But if you're selfish, you say something, then that gives her the option to either be like, oh, I can go overseas or I can stay with him. You know what I mean? It's not like forcing a hand and then you miss out on an opportunity and then you have regret later in life. That's why I say, fuck being selfless, be selfish because you at least give that
true,
person the
yeah.
option and you at least make it a possibility instead of being like, oh no, I don't know. Because that's the thing that was annoying me. Assassination Classroom, same thing happened at the end where like it was that like the main character kind of looked like that one girl, like they looked like like they kind of looked like sort of similar and they were like best friends and they really kind of got along
Yeah.
and kind of got each other. And at the end of it, she never like asked him out and he never asked her out because it was always like, oh well, they're gonna be traveling, I don't want to like impose, I don't want to like make it weird for them. And then now they're separated. Now he's doing his thing, she's doing her thing, and they're sitting there like, wow, I wish I would have said something. Literally, that was the ending. It's like, wow, I miss him. I don't get to hear from him anymore because he's busy, and then she's doing her thing, and it's like, nah, bro, he's got to be selfish. I get where he's coming from. Great dude, but you're gonna regret it later in life. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where you gotta go out there, win nationals, wait until she wins nationals. Don't throw that on her beforehand. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta man up, brother. You gotta man up.
I feel like they're not maybe like as comfortable yet with each other. Like they're still a
Exactly.
little
Yeah.
awkward at times. But yeah, like kind of like you said, maybe not before nationals, but it's like the timing becomes
Mm-hmm.
better and better and they get closer. Like they're spending time outside of school and like they do get along and they are friends, but like they're still like in that awkward phase. And we've mentioned this before. Taiki's like a super overthinker. Like when
Oh
it
yeah.
comes time to lock in, my man's solid. He always gets the job done, but it's easy to overthink stuff. And I think that whole kind of like, I don't want to say necessarily coming of age, but like, it's like a romance. They figure it out and kind of work through the kinks and the awkwardness. Yeah. And like the payoff when we get to that moment where like somebody kind of starts admitting how they feel or like they have that conversation, I think will really be sick and the payoff will be really good as like a fan and a viewer.
And like the thing is too is that at that point, how are you not like comfortable with each other enough where like if he asks her and she denies him, that it can't just go back to normal in a way. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain
Yeah.
level of like it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna go back to quote unquote normal. It's gonna be a little awkward, but like at the same time, that mutual respect of like, oh, okay, hey, listen, no worries. I don't want to make this weird at home. Like we're all good, type of thing. We're chilling. You know what I mean? And then that's that. You know what I mean? Especially if it's after nationals. Well, then it's like there's gonna be like what, a month left. You know what I mean? It's not like they're gonna be there for like, oh shit, now we have to sit here awkwardly for a year or something. You know what I mean? So like I feel like he has to do it after nationals. There's not like really any downside to it other than the possibility of getting denied. But he's the main character. I don't know if he knows that or not, but he's not gonna get denied. Like,
Yeah.
like he's
I
got
don't
this.
I don't think he really picks up on like how either of them feel, Hina and Shinatsu. Like, but he's also like very like involved in just like focusing on badminton and making sure he's like training and doing his thing.
Kind of
Like as much as
oblivious.
I was gonna say, yeah, as much as he thinks about it, like he's not really focused on it or like obsessed in the sense that he's like actively like trying to make
Yeah.
this happen because he's like focused on badminton, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know. The longer it goes on, the more exciting it'll be to kind of see them like take that next step.
Bro, even that even goes to our point where his buddy's like, "Hey, so you're gonna ask her out if you go to the national?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that." It's like, bro, like, What are you
What?
doing? He
Yeah.
completely forgot what he's going after here. But yo, before we move on here, bro got a game up on Haru.
That's right.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was a highlight. Like when he was able to do that, I was like, yo, Taiki's eating, bro. Like, oh, dude. And of course, the perfect cliffhanger then leads us to the rematch. Where Haru's like, they
Yeah.
stop him and it's like, don't lose until you face me at the quarterfinals or at nationals or something. Like, that's going to be huge. I feel like they're going to be in the semifinals. They're going to face each other. Taiki's going to win. And I don't know. And then he's probably gonna lose in the finals. Like I don't know if he's gonna just like run through and just kind of sweep. I feel like that'd be pretty insane. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe he
I don't.
does.
I feel like they'll do really well with doubles. I kind of feel like the whole insinuation has been like Taiki's decent at singles, but he still has some like work to do. So I don't know if he'll win, but I think he'll like
I
just
don't
like in
know,
that
bro.
match.
He was winning in that match.
Yeah, like he's done that a couple times now. He beats that other kid from the other school,
Mm-hmm.
and like he surprised people a bunch of times. But like I don't know if I see him winning the whole thing in singles, but like I think they'll crush it in doubles
Yeah.
too. But either way, Taiki will go far enough, or like maybe he will win to the point where like he's really like opened some eyes, and like all the people who see him at school are like, yeah, he is that legit. Especially if you can take a game from Haru, who's like the second year captain.
Yeah, like that's absolutely insane. And watch us just be just completely wrong. Watch us just like completely miss, and he gets knocked out immediately.
I'd be surprised. I really don't know. Like
Like watch him just fucking shit the bed.
I feel like he'll probably lose to Haru in singles. I feel like he'll do good enough, but like I don't know. I don't see him winning. I think they'll do good in doubles. That's kind of my prediction.
I don't know. I'm excited to see either or because like it could go either way. I mean, technically they could do bad in doubles and then he beats him in singles and that's where he shines. You know what I mean? That's his
Yeah,
redemption is in singles because he thought like, oh, it'll be easy in doubles. I got Haru carrying my ass. But then that goes sideways and then oh shit, now we're in. You know what I mean? It can go either way. It can go so many different ways and that's what I'm so excited for. I feel like that's gonna be awesome and I just can't wait. And maybe he's gonna face his buddy because it's pretty clear and we kind of get reminders that his buddy competes too and his buddies that competes in these tournaments. Right before he was the greatest wingman ever, he was on his way to his match. So I feel like they're gonna introduce him in a way where it's like, oh shit, we didn't even think about that. Like they're gonna have to face each other in the singles.
and Haru did say that. Like, we're friends for doubles, but we're enemies for singles. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely make a good point. I think it'll be tough. Like, there'll be some emotional matches, but it'll kind of push Taiki to be like stronger and better. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited to see where it goes and find out what happens with Chinatsu's basketball team. I'm assuming they'll win, but like, it'll just nice to see them get redemption. It would be a good win, and
I don't know, dude. Again,
yeah,
it can go either way, and it's we were thinking of it. Because what if he wins but she loses? Do you really want to ask someone out like that? Then you made this promise,
yeah,
you know what I mean, and then you win. It's like, oh hey, you know what I mean? Like that's really like she's not in a place where she wants to get asked that, especially by someone who kept up their end of the deal, and vice versa. What if she wins and he doesn't, and then he just doesn't has the confidence to then ask her out? You know what I mean? Like unless they both win, it's over. Like that's the whole problem with this is that they're banking the relationship on both of them winning nationals because if they both lose, if one of them wins, one of them loses, it's just not there. It's just a bad situation, bro.
it would be such a bummer. But
Yeah,
that's kind of like I don't know. It feels high stakes for what it is, even though it's not like that terribly deep. But
yeah.
like it kind of is. You know what I mean? So like I'm really rooting for him, and hopefully they get close enough where they can like still have a really good time with it. Because
Hmm.
I don't know if it'll just be like a super feel good, happy story where they win and then they start going out and no. But I definitely think it'll be like exciting and intense up to that point for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. But we have been absolutely driving this episode. Jesus, boys. So we're gonna hit some of the other animes and kind of be a bit quicker with them. so we're not here for 3 hours.
Dude, yo, shit is so good though. Like between Blue Lock and DanDaDan,
Dude,
dude,
I thought we were
top
doing good on
tier.
time too. Like I was like, yeah, we're speeding it along. We're doing alright. I was like, no, we're at 50 minutes. Like that. That's
Hey,
this is technically the end.
time flies when you're talking about good anime, right?
Dude, yeah, people comment and they're like, how can you guys talk about this for like 4 hours? It's like, dude, this is light work. Like, this is the warm up. Like, don't
Yeah,
fucking tempt
yeah.
us. If you
Hell
can't
yeah.
do this too, you're fake, bro. I don't even start with me. All right, let's go to Yakuza Fiance real quick. That is absolutely insane. They're all psychos. They're all completely messed up in the head. Kirishima is some brilliant, absolute FBI agent. I mean, the way that he's able to just sit there and just know everything, broker deals, foresee things, you know what I mean? Predict certain things is at like dude
Copies her phone
plans.
number. Like, dude, he's
Yeah,
crazy.
but at the same time, she's right there too because she's like now saying like now is like saying that like oh yeah like by the way like I texted her saying to go to the place and he's like yeah I have a copy of her phone like she didn't get the message and she's like no I'm trying to tell you that she knows you're bullshit and said to message her on a tablet and I friend requested her and he's like oh fuck so like
Yo, you could see his face change too, and he's like immediately pulls out the laptop. He's like, I gotta lock in. What's going on here? Picks up the phone. He's like, yeah, he flipped the switch immediately.
and she doesn't even realize too or maybe she already knew that he tracks her location because he's like what are you doing there like he knew where she was exactly and she's like what do you mean I'm at the spot where I was told to meet up with her and she even knows too and she knows what's going on because she says where is she on her way yet and she's like how do you know she's not there and it's like because I'm looking at the guy I'm looking at Ozu I can see him so she knows it's like so even she knows what's kind of going on everyone knows everything except for now who thinks that she's amazing which is so funny she thinks that she's the one who's like prettier and above everybody else, but she made that comment about the MC like, oh, you're not even like comparing yourself to me, like you're disgusting. How you're not even like you're like checking me out type of thing, and she even described her as like colorful on the outside but like hollow on the inside. I'm like that kind of sounds like you, bitch. Like she seems like
Yeah,
she's her own person. You're the one who seems fake as fuck and dead inside. Like I don't know who you're coming at here, but you can see that everyone was in the loop except for her. So this whole thing is getting super spicy, super insane. We're kind of learning about Ozu and about how people are manipulating him and he's manipulating these girls, and then these girls are going missing, and there's all this shit going on. Like, dude, it's heating up. Like, I mean, you hear the kettle, bro. Tea's ready. Like, this is
yeah,
absolutely insane.
yeah. It really feels like things are like building and like
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting more serious, and there's more people involved now than there ever has been. And we get a little bit of Karishima and Yoshino talking at the aquarium, and like she's like trying to ask him questions and get to know him a little bit better. And she's like, if I'm gonna marry you, like I should actually know like what your hobbies are, what kind of food you like, and like try and make this like as normal as possible.
Yeah.
But her, Yoshino and Kirishima, I feel like are like, yeah, 2 steps ahead of now because she is like super self-centered. And I'm glad you caught that because like she makes a really good point. Like she doesn't compare herself to other women. She's not like interested in me or checking me out or like competing with me.
Yeah.
And like I immediately thought, yeah, because Yoshino's comfortable in who she is. Like she just is who she is. And like she's a decent person. Like she can turn it on and lean into that Yakuza side, but she's not like Kirishima where like she kind of feels too far gone. Like she still does have like morals. And yeah, hollow would not be the word I would describe
Oh my god,
Yoshino
yeah.
as. You know what I mean? I thought that was like a really good um way to write her character. Like almost kind of like Ira and DanDaDan, like so self-absorbed, like you completely miss the point. And then yeah, things are kind of blowing up in her face. Like she thought she was good, but not really.
She's getting blackmailed to going to an agency and then into porn and then disappearing, off the face of the earth. Like, yeah, you're about to like get set up in the most awful way. And it also shows just how little she knows because she's talking to her and she's like, oh wait, so you know he's Yakuza? Like you know about his past? Like, bitch, she's Yakuza too. Like, don't fuck with her. She's also just as dangerous as Kirishima. Like, don't mess with her because Kirishima would do awful shit, but a lot of people do awful shit for her. That's the difference between them. You know what I mean? You go
Very
after him,
true.
you're going to war with him. You go after her, you're going to war with the Yakuza. You know what I mean? And it just shows just how out of the loop she is. Like, yeah, of course she knows about Kirishima's, state. Like what is going on around him with his family, with that he's Yakuza and all this other stuff. Like, she is too, and it just kind of just again, yeah, like you were saying, shows now is just so like self-absorbed, and she thinks that she's the smartest person in the room. Not even close.
And she has like a super high profile job. She's like
Mm-hmm.
on the news or she's a broadcaster or something. Like
Oh, she's
she's in the
trying to
public.
be.
Yeah, she's like trying to be in
Mm-hmm.
the entertainment industry, which is I don't know if I would call the news the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
but that's neither here or there. Um, but she kind of doesn't really think that far ahead of like, yeah, somebody that's like a very real possibility and kind of like, like in that underworld, like Yakuza or like gang stuff, like people will blackmail you with your job or like your family or something. And I don't know if she thought that was like these people were above that, but like she was not prepared for that. And I don't know, for someone who's a little older, I thought that was kind of like sloppy as far as preparation went. But
Well,
yeah,
they're in high
now kind of
school,
get
right?
I thought she was a little older.
I don't know. I think she might be in high school. She said that she was in the same grade as Kirishima, and he's in high school too.
Was she lying about that though? That they went to grade school? I don't know if she was telling the truth.
I don't know if she was
Who's
either.
telling the truth at this point?
I can't fucking trust her. I don't fucking know what she's saying.
Like, yeah, everybody's kind of like spinning these webs and like it's just like a good drama. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of like moving parts and like our boy Shoma always feels kind of out of the loop and like really like nonchalant, like kind of doesn't give a fuck, but he definitely does.
Yeah.
Like, I think Shoma's gonna show up in a big way, but
Dude, Shoma's
things
my
are definitely
boy,
gonna come
man.
to a head.
I fucking love
just wanna-
Shoma.
Shoma's so cool, dude.
Like, I would want to be his boy, but I knew he'd probably kill me at some point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he'd drag you into something ridiculous.
or just get fucking pissed off at me and kill me. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's just he seems like a great guy, but like he seems like he's got a couple wires loose.
From a distance, he's a great guy.
Yeah. From seeing him on the screen, phenomenal dude. Seems like a
Big fan.
real life. I'm good.
Yeah. It'll be cool to see how this all plays out, though. I feel like the next episode's gonna have some really good action. I think it'll pop off next episode.
Dude, yeah, it's not even like the action; it's just the drama. It's just like it's so engaging and it's so like sick and it's like disgusting at the same time. It's just like not like the friendly kind of drama. It's like again, he's manipulating girls into this agency. Well, he's bringing them to the point where they're depressed. He even said that one girl who disappeared was like depressed, wanting to go home. Then all of a sudden she's in this agency. Then she's doing porn, and now she's missing. You know what I mean? It's like really sketchy, nasty stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is like this is insane. You know what I mean? Like we'll see what else they get into. Like this is crazy. So like I'm just loving it. It's not the typical stuff you're used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very good. It's like original and for being like a Yakuza story, I feel like it's fresh and I've really enjoyed it so far and yeah, can't wait for the next couple episodes. Feel like it's gonna be a banger.
Oh my dude, this season's gonna be sick. It's gonna be
Hell
so
yeah.
good. But anyways, just getting to the blue Miburo. Listen, yeah, it holds on for another day. I mean, another week. This one
Got me
more
for
so,
another week.
Yeah, more so than last week though. I feel like this was really good because okay, first of all, they end up going and seeing that guy who ran the district or whatever. I forget his name, but it was sent from the Shogunate, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. That one dude was giving that speech. It's like, yo, this guy's going in, and then you see it's written on his hands, and then you're like, yep, these guys are the same lovable dipshits that we know.
Yeah, that was really funny, honestly.
They start screaming out, I want to master the sword. I want women to throw themselves at me. And just like everything that they want. Like it was just like such a cool moment and so funny. But what was going on outside with the kids, which I loved that. Because that blonde haired kid comes walking by, he's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like this is an important place. You can't just wander in. It's like, oh, we're at the Blue Miburo or at the Miburo, I think they just kinda say. Like, oh, like I heard of those guys, and they start talking and like, dude, something's up with this kid. Like he's fucking weird. Like he's sketchy. You know what I mean? And Neo's just eating it up. Neo's like, oh, bestie. You know what I mean? Or so we thought. And then he walks away, and that one kid with the dark hair, makes a comment. Yo, he has a faint scent of blood. I'm like, yo, that makes sense because he's sitting there saying that he's an information broker, pretty much at the end there as he's walking off. Like he's probably definitely killed people. Like he doesn't seem like he seems sketchy. And they go and visit him later because he drops that hint where he's like, oh yeah, like I do fabric stuff like that. And then he's leaving. He's like, yeah, if you ever want information, come find me. So then all the adults come out and like, yeah, we got to go find information about what's going on. He's like, yeah, I think I know where to go. So they end up going and talking to him. And you have that cool interaction where after they leave, well, first of all, you end up kind of seeing this kid's psychotic. Like he just, like something's definitely not right with him. And you can kind of see that Neo knew. Neo's like, oh yeah, I knew something was up with him the second we saw him, which is why I'm playing along. And you can kind of see how real this is getting. You know what I mean? You can kind of see how real, how Neo's taking this seriously, how it's not just, oh, we're meeting people and everyone's great, you know what I mean? Some people are really sketchy, really messed up. The thing that hit me was when he's like, should we kill him? And Neo, instead of like, no, killing's awful, was like, not yet. I want to talk to one more time and then we can kill him. I was like, where's our good boy Neo? Where's our, I want peace and justice? Like he's down to kill. Like I have a feeling that this anime is about to take a massive turn because now we're kind of getting into like the dirty side of it. We're getting with some messed up people, some of the villains. We can see that Neo doesn't care about killing. They're probably going to get into killing. They're learning how to fight now. That's something that's been known. So I feel like Neo, we're going to see some combat from them. I feel like Blue Miburo is about to like really, really pick up.
Yeah, that's what I felt like watching this episode this week, that it kind of like got me reinvested into it. It feels like it's going to start speeding up and like the pace is going to pick up now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we're gonna get into some fights and like kind of this arc where like Hijikata says, like clearing the trash from this town
Hmm.
because that's what they're being ordered to do. Um, and the one kid Hajime with the swords, he kind of like mentions that too. Like it doesn't matter who you're working for, like what master you serve, you just have to live like samurai. And that's kind of like some of their MOs. Obviously, like the speech, they're like, oh, I want women, I want to eat the best food, all this stuff, but
Yeah.
they still do have like a moral responsibility to like get rid of these guys and like still kind of uphold like a certain code. So I think they'll be good, but yeah, that blonde kid definitely was a psycho. Like the way he talks about killing and he's like, "Oh, I know where the killings happened. Like I could show you where they are." Like he's very well connected and
Hmm.
plugged in. Like you can tell he's wealthy, but at the same time, like he's definitely involved in some of that like more seedy events for being like some young royal kid who you would think would be like away from all that.
Nah, like what kind of gave it away for me too is that when Neo brought up, he's like, "Hey, like, don't you want to ever want to go visit your mom in her country?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't give a fuck." You know what I mean?
He was literally like not a single bit. It was like, oh,
It's like
okay,
that really disassociative. You know what I mean? Where like he just doesn't care
yeah.
about people. I got that feeling from him saying that. Like I just don't think this kid's attached to people in general. You know what I mean? People die. He's like, all right. You know what I mean? He's like, he doesn't have friends and been close to him. You know, he just isolates. You know, so I feel like this kid is sketchy as fuck. I feel like this is gonna get really interesting story wise. I feel like action wise it's gonna get picked up, and I really hope it does. And if it does, I'm be kind of annoyed that the beginning was kind of like what's going on here. You know, it took like 5 episodes, 6 episodes to really get direction and kind of go. But if that's the case, better late than never. Glad we stayed. You know what I mean? But it's looking like it's gonna be pretty good, especially at the end. You know, that dude is trying to fight them now. The samurai is trying to fight the two kids, and they're like, "Let's go!" Like, come on, old man.
Yeah, it finally heats up at the end, and like
Mm-hmm.
Hajime's like, we might be kids, but we're not easy prey. So like it feels like it's about to take off and like really start heating up. But you're right, lives for another week. Like I definitely see the promise and potential. So hopefully, like it really starts to turn up now, because like we're more than halfway, or that's a couple episodes behind, I think. So we're like at the halfway point, episode 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so like you would think now would be the time to kind of like get people invested. If you're only gonna have 12 episodes and get a season two, like I would expect it to pop off, you know?
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I think that that's going to be awesome. Like we'll see. But lives for another week. You are my servant. So not much really happened this episode. They kind of went clothes shopping.
A little
Kind of had
fan servicey, you know?
yeah. They keep getting. I love how he acknowledges that too and kind of breaks the fourth wall where he's kind of like you really had to sneak in
Yes.
the sneak in the bathing suit.
Dude, that was so funny in the middle of it. And it's like super quick. She's just randomly tries on a bikini and he's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, like what was the point of that? Why did you need to try that on?
Like you really
I
need
thought
to
that
slip
was
that
really
in, yeah.
funny.
Because he's kind of
Yeah.
coming at them as they're like the thirsty audience, like the blonde girl. He's like really like, you gotta chill out. Because remember how she's like, oh, let me show you how real adults coordinate outfits, and then goes to some like BDSM fucking
Yeah, dude. And I love how she's holding up this tiny little like leather strapped thing, and like the little sister's just like, yeah, that's sexy. I love it. It's like, all right. Grace is like totally poisoning his younger sister.
dude. Like both of them are fucking psychotic, and like you can just tell, especially like from those scenes when they're like, yeah, like next time we'll just leave so and so at home, like the MC at home, and just have a girls' day. And he's like, actually, I would love that. I don't want to be here,
Yeah.
bro.
That sounds great, actually. Like their dynamic this episode was like really fun and like it was very casual. Like we got a little bit of lore right at the very end. And for some reason I
Yeah.
thought about that. I'm like, she's not gonna get rid of the maid outfit for whatever like trendy stuff they pick out. Because it's like a part of her character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's called Miss Servant, so
Yeah.
it's like that maid aspect. But then she also comes out and says that like her former master was given to her as a gift, and it's one of the, like the only things he has or she has from him. So like there's a sentimental value to it, which I thought was kind of cool. Like she can go to school dressed as like a regular person, but if you want to
Yeah.
rock the maid outfit at home,
At
go
home,
for
it'll
it.
probably be the maid outfit, but then when they go out, it'll probably be something else from now on. But
Yeah.
like,
Or
yeah,
normal.
she's gonna be keeping it. I thought that was kind of cool how like it was a gift for her and stuff like that, and that's why it means so much. And then it brings up the bell and how that belonged to her long lost like younger sister. And I'm like, oh, so there's definitely a scene at some point where she's gonna be fighting her long lost younger sister. That's 100. Like, she's long lost because they were probably being trained to be assassins. Something happened, they got separated. Maybe she failed, something like that. And there you go. Yuki becomes the promising, ends up being number 4 of the 9 dragons or whatever. So her sister probably ended up living a tougher life still in the assassin hood and is probably gonna come after Yuki at some point. You know what I mean? I don't think that's gonna have some nice happy start at least.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out and like how they introduce her. And
Hmm.
also there's that pink-haired girl with like the interesting eyes. Um I don't know like what significance she plays, but like we see her kind of looking at the group. You know, they're like having fun, they're out
Hmm.
shopping and like carrying on and stuff. Um
Oh, she's
and
obsessed
then
with
her older
Yuki. She was in the last episode. She was watching Yuki play volleyball and was very fascinated with her.
yeah, she goes to their school,
Hmm.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like I don't know how she's gonna kind of fit in or like what events she'll bring with her, but seems like we're gonna be getting another character, and then like you said, obviously the mention of Yuki's younger sister. Hopefully we get that before the end of season one, or kind of lead us into a season two gets spicy there. But I'm sure something will happen for sure with the younger sister.
Yeah, dude, it seems like it's gonna be really cool. There's like a lot of mystery now, which is kind of like, oh fuck yeah, nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for like such a chill episode, like they drop that right at the end. It's like, oh, all right, I see you.
Yeah, I want them to keep doing that because they've been having quite a few like chill episodes. So like the more it, like kind of heats up, it's like, all right, like I'm down. Like this is gonna be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Nah, it's been really good. I think like we were talking about how emotional some of these episodes are. It's like kind of nice to have something funny and like, um, I always forget his name at first. Hitayoshi. Like
TTOC, that's it.
some of his like comments are like his responses are really funny. So like it's light, but at the same time, like the story's still good and entertaining.
Yeah, I like I don't know. I just really like it. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like we have so many like emotional roller coasters we're on. To have something that's kind of like just chill, stable is just like yeah, that's what you need. You need that baseline per se. You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
just
Unwind after so much drama.
yeah after after all the roller coasters, bro. You need something that just chills you out. You know what I mean? Gets you right. So I'm definitely excited about that. You know, watching that after Arcane was definitely. Oh, I needed it even though I'm
Yeah.
still all sorts of fucked up. But dude, an amazing week, an emotional week. I'm super excited. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off here?
If you haven't watched Arcane yet, I highly recommend it. You were not kidding. It's phenomenal. And like the
Yep.
writing really only gets better. And it's easy to say that, but if you watch like the first 4 or 5 episodes, you'll be like, damn, how do they keep just improving and writing better stuff? Outstanding. Outstanding.
And he's saying this without watching the past 3 episodes, which were the best 3 episodes that it's ever created.
I
So
know. I'm like, I gotta catch up.
yeah, so next week it's gonna be a whole different thing you're saying. We're like, oh my god, like it is, dude. It is beyond. It is beyond anything. I don't know how to say it, but I bully people into watching it, and they all are thankful. So,
Yes.
give in to the bullying. Give in to the peer pressure. Watch Arcane.
Yes.
You will love it. Jinx is awesome. Vi is awesome. They're all awesome, bro. Like it's such. That's the cool thing that I was telling my one friend. I'm like, you do realize that Jinx and Vi are not the main characters. They're not. That's the thing about the show is that it's just about League of Legends, like that world. Jinx and Vi are just kind of the main parts of the story that's being told. It is not even close to being done. Like there's characters that are still being hinted and still haven't even dropped in yet, which they've been hinting about for the past like 4 episodes, like the Black Rose, that whole thing going on. That's LeBlanc. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she hasn't even been in. Like it's gonna keep going. I actually heard that season 2 being canceled is actually a lie. It's fake. So there actually apparently will be a season 3, possibly, and they might even do even more projects with the other regions and other parts of the world. So it's the beginning, which is insane.
I feel like they should keep doing that too, because like obviously people are into it. It's been on like the top 10 for how long on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like we had mentioned the success of Cyberpunk. All the
Hmm.
people went back to that video game, and like League of Legends is just outrageously popular in the first place. But I think it blends like a good medium. Like anime and like video games are like very well connected, and I don't know if you like either one of them, you're obviously going to be a fan of the other. So I'm here for it. Absolutely, keep feeding us.
Oh my god, please, 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 more of Arcane. It is so good. It is. I live on it now. I need more. But anyways, hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your week. See you next weekend. Peace.